After a short break, we now arrive in Canada from Europe, only to head back to Europe after this weekend. Carbon neutral, huh? Anyways, we obviously have the Canadian Grand Prix this week, and this weekend will forever be special to me. While I may not have been laid like this guy, I still had something very special happen to me since in Canada was the beginning of the Winners and Losers series on my channel, as well as it being my third video ever. I still remember uploading that video embarrassed at what my parents would think, and look at me now. It has been a great journey, and I'm so grateful to have had you guys here. So with that said, let us talk about Canada. The Canada weekend is always a strange one since typically we get multiple stops here, which leads to a grid that's kind of hard to separate. Even in the boring years, this race always stood out as one of the better ones in the season, so I think I could confidently say that we will enjoy our time here this week. This track of course has many highlights, such as literally last year in all of its chaoticness, 2023 with Russell's mid-race lobotomy, 2022 with the near Hamilton and Verstappen moment, and of course the controversy of 2019. We do not speak of this robbery. So the track definitely produces hype moments and brilliant racing, which is great for all of us. Something else that is great is the championship heating up between the top two in the standings, and at the very track where they both failed miserably at last year, I fear we could be in for some good revenge wheel. Or maybe they're just mature adults and don't care, which is probably the case. But I'm yapping too long now. Let us finally make the preview to the Canada weekend and list any potential upgrades coming for the team, the drama and the stories from the weekend prior that can influence this week, the ones to keep an eye on for, and of course, my weekend predictions that are calculated. So go subscribe if you're new if you suspect the existence of French Canadians, and here is the 2025 Canadian Grand Prix weekend preview.
See those clouds up in the corner? That's where the rain is coming from.
As always, we got the upgrades to talk about first, and I believe we can expect moderate upgrade packages for the teams. Considering that this North American race is just thrown in here randomly in the middle of the European portion, teams may be less inclined to bring a package here since they're so far away from home. But this track is also a good blend of slow, medium, and high-speed corners, not to mention the super long straight, so it may still be very worthwhile to bring a nice package here. And of course, remember that everything I say here is pure speculation and educated guesses, so don't be mad at me if I say something untrue. However, when have I ever done that? Anyways, let's begin with Alpine, who are somehow last in the standings with 11 points. That's not the biggest indicator that this season is cooking. I don't know what is. Anyways, the quote-unquote French team is in a crisis, since if you're a team fan, you probably cannot stand the sight of your management. If you're a Gasly fan, you probably can't stand the sight of your boy fighting by himself for any points. And if you're a Colapinto or Doohan fan, my condolences. This team really may be Red Bull, since instead of making upgrades that work, you blame your results on your second driver and continue being ass. That car just looks like it sucks to drive, so an upgrade or two here would do wonders for them since they could be on the cusp. With Pure at least. Next up is Aston Martin, and while they have upgraded their car to be capable of scoring points, they still have a long way to go. Currently, they sit 9th in the standings, tied with Sauber, and considering all the budget and engineers the team has, you would think that it could just be as simple as bringing an upgrade and launching yourself to 6th, but we of course know the biggest nerf the team has. But at least they have Fernando, who I still doubt is actually washed, so Canada can be huge for Aston if they really want it. Next up is Haas, and this team should bring upgrades, I think. I mean, they're based in North Carolina, which is closer than any team to the track, so you would think the team would utilize that, right? And trust me, they need it now more than ever, since Spain was a super horrible weekend for them, and even if they just stagnate, they could finish last in the standings given how tight this midfield is currently. So let's see how Haas fare. Please guys, one mid team is enough for me. Next up is Williams, and Williams could be in for some good shit. I mean, last week in Spain obviously wasn't good, and while Canada also features many of the same traits as Spain, I don't know, they'll still do good. Williams always performs in Canada, and usually they get their best results here, so why not bring an upgrade? They kind of fell off in Spain, like I said, so now would be a great time to bounce back. Now for the top dogs, and I first have Ferrari. I told you guys, they will always be here because it helps me cope with my delusion. Anyways, Ferrari used to run Canada back in the day, and while team dominant tracks may not exist anymore, come on, for the one time. Plus, Lewis does typically do good around here, and it would just be amazing, guys. Come on. Plus, Charles has been on good form recently, and a win here would cook, guys. Come on. Plus, Ferrari is second now in the standing somehow, and an upgrade package could make our drivers more motivated than ever. Come on. Sorry, to be truthful, I have no clue if they are or aren't bringing upgrades here, so let's hope that they are. Finally, I have Mercedes here, who I think could bring an upgrade package. Mercedes have been on the back foot recently, so a nice care package can be be amazing for them. George can cook wonderfully as we've seen in the season so far, and Kimi is just getting faster and faster, but how can they be expected to perform if their car is all over the place? I've said this many times, but if the team can just find a 10th or 2, they will be within striking distance to McLaren in my opinion, so what better place than Canada? Now for the drama from the weekend, and I start with the news with Lance Stroll. Now I will keep this one short since many YouTubers have already dogged on him, but basically when he got eliminated in Q2, he apparently lashed out his engineers and hit a bunch of things, which have led to speculation that that is why he missed the race and not because of his 2023 incident. Now I personally believe both are right since I doubt Lance has it in him to do some Kylo Ren bullshit, but who knows, he is rich. But yeah, what more can I say about Lance that hasn't been said by me previously or by another YouTuber? Please just leave, man. Next up, I have the news with Felipe Drugovich. More Aston, yippee. But picking up where I left off with Lance, when he was reported to miss the weekend, many people were saying how Drugovich would replace him, but nah, if you didn't qualify, you can't race. So Felipe didn't race. However, that has led to new reports saying how he could participate in Canada should Lance miss it due to his injuries. The only issue is the 24 Hours of Le Mans overlaps with this weekend for some reason, and Drugovich is participating in it. And when asked about which he will prioritize, Felipe said the Canadian Grand Prix. This has led people to say that he is an idiot for prioritizing a random F1 race over the 24 hours, which I fully agree with, but after letting it sink in, I kind of disagree now. Felipe is young. He could participate next year in the 24 hours, so if there is a slim chance to race in F1, I don't blame him for giving that priority. Next up, I have the minor news with Horner and Ferrari. What on earth is this? So apparently, there have been rumors that with Vasseur high on his own ass, Ferrari may drop him for a better team principal, and who do they decide is good? Christian Horndog Horner. I am being so real when I say I will straight up stop supporting this team if we get Christian having a wank in the plane Horner. Like, I get it. He seems like a good team principal who has steered Red Bull since their inception, but guys, really? The Christian my dick looks like a thumb Horner? Now, it seems that thankfully these rumors have been debunked since both parties have disproven any said talks, so let's take their word and hope and pray that Christian my wife hates me now and only puts up with me for the media Horner never sniffs Ferrari red. Finally, I have all the ethical wheel conversations on Twitter. Now, why am I talking about a Twitter hashtag, you might say? I don't know, it's fun I guess. This all started after Max's crash out in Spain last week, which have led to hashtag ethical wheel going around, where people post clips of their favorite drivers driving like a true racer and not a child. I mean, this got everywhere, even IndyCar joined in on the fun, and the best thing from it, the absolute shameless Max fans coping. They're saying how Max drove like that because he's a true champion with a true champion's mentality, and it's like, really? Get some shame, people. Just because Senna or Michael also drove like an idiot straight into their rivals doesn't mean they're exempt from any wrongdoings just because they're champions too. I mean, Michael literally got disqualified from that season in 1997 for doing that idiotic maneuver. If Max fans are real, they would criticize what he did in Spain instead of trying to wiggle him out of any wrongdoing. Now for the ones you should keep your beautiful eyes on, and I say you should watch Mercedes. Mercedes lately have been nothing short of ass, and it's severely hindering their championship hopes. They had any to begin with. They started off great as one of McLaren's challengers, but now they sit third. So did they fall off, or could they come back this weekend? Let us see. Alright, with everything talked about now, it is predictions times for the Canada weekend. As always, it must be stated that we will predict 3 things: the top 5 in the quali, the top 5 in the race, and a random prediction from any session. It should also be noted that these predictions are based on nothing but pure vibes, so bear with me. No sprints this weekend, so let us begin with quali predictions, and I predict that the top 5 on Saturday, starting with 5th, will be Charles Leclerc, and 4th will be Lewis Hamilton, and 3rd will be Max Verstappen, and 2nd will be Oscar Piastri, and for pole position, I have Lando Norris by 1/10 of a second. Now for the race predictions, and starting with 5th, I have Lewis Hamilton, and 4th, I have Charles Leclerc, and 3rd, I have Oscar Piastri, and 2nd, I have Max Verstappen, and the winner of the Canadian Grand Prix is Lando Norris, who makes up for last year. Time for my random prediction, and I think in the race, there will be a red flag due to somebody absolutely demolishing one of the tire barriers. It'd be really funny if there was no tire barrier in Canada. Also, make sure to join my Discord to make your predictions for the weekend and have a chance to appear in the winners and losers. And that was my weekend preview for the Canadian Grand Prix. I always love this weekend and this track, so even if the weekend may not be good, I will still enjoy my time here. But again, I suspect it could be very tight between the drivers, so they now need to be on it more now than ever here. But finally, I could say positively that the F1 season is shaping up to be something good if the last races are anything to go by, so let us see how this weekend fares. I have just cursed this weekend, haven't I? Anyways, I want to give a quick shout out to all members of the vlog for their continued support, and make sure you join if you want cool benefits as well as just helping me out. Anyways, if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe since it really helps me out, and make sure to let me know in the comments what your predictions are. And as always, have an amazing day.
Good weather for the duck.